I certainly want to say thank you to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl and Gary for an unbelievable week here, and what a first-class operation. And our kids, our players, got to experience something that they'd never experienced before. And the great city of Atlanta was such a great host to us, and Chick-fil-A and the Peach Bowl. This is a big-time bowl game, and our players certainly do appreciate it. Hats off to Florida State and Coach Fisher. They what an unbelievable run they've had these last few years, and they're 2 years removed from a national championship, and I believe their senior class, the 4-year run at 49 victories, and really challenging opponent. But to finish off, so appreciative of these players. This is a players first program, and they deserve all the credit in the world. I think the staff deserves a lot of credit as well. I think we've got the finest assistant coaching staff and strength staff in America, and I'm not afraid to say that. But these players have they've given us their hearts, and they trusted us with their hearts. And for a young man to do that and to open himself up and be exposed a little bit, to open yourself up really from the word jump, from day one, and without knowing really where we were going, without knowing exactly what the plan was, but just saying, Coach, I want to be great. I want to be great, and I trust that you and your staff and your strength staff and support staff, that you guys know the path to get there. And they believed in us. They believed in the program and the plan, and it's so very gratifying to see all of their hard work and investment and literally blood, sweat, and tears pay off in this great win.
Okay, right here.
Brian Smith, Houston Chronicle. Tom, at the start of this year, it was a struggle to even maybe get people into the stadium. You were trying to get home fans there, and by the end of the year, the place is packed. The conference championship, and not many people probably thought you'd win this game, and now you're probably in the top 10 and 13-1. Can you put this whole season, this year, it's really been 1 year, into words, or is it impossible?
I think, just the opening statement, really, putting the season into words, it goes to the players. The players and the love that they have for each other, and the trust and love that they have in the staff. They have truly re-energized not just a program. They haven't just rejuvenated this program, but really re-energized an entire university and, to a certain degree, an entire city. And they should be extremely proud of that fact. And I'm just happy to be along for the ride and see the smiles on their faces because they did it. They're the ones that bled and sweat and cried, for 12 months to make that happen. And we are truly appreciative, though, that the city of Houston and Coug Nation and the alumni and fans and students have seen their sacrifice and have certainly increased their support.
Tom, David Nuno, ABC 13. Talk a little bit about how you guys were the intimidators in this game. You guys asserted your will all game long on all the facets of the game.
Well, I told each guy last night when I tucked him into bed, I said, it doesn't matter. They don't put recruiting stars on playing, on being the most physically tough team, the most mentally tough team, and the team that is the most purpose-driven, meaning the team that loves each other the most. And that can overcome a lot. They can overcome a lot by having the passion and purpose that this team has to go out and, again, play a team loaded with NFL talent and say, we're not going to back down. We're going to be the aggressor. And, we've done that all year. So it wasn't really much of a surprise to me, but I just wanted to remind them last night that none of the rankings, whether it be recruiting or national rankings or anything like that, matter when it comes to being the most physical team on the field and the most purpose-driven team on the field.
Okay, over here, Ed.
Coach Edward Ashoff, ESPN.com. I know it's early. You guys just won, but what kind of victory, or what does a victory like this do as far as a springboard for next season with the guys you guys have coming back?
I think anytime you win your last game, you carry momentum into the next season and into the off season. I think what we're certainly going to have to combat is that awful, dreaded word, complacency. And thinking that. Because we're all humans, we're all flawed creatures, and it's really, really easy. The human nature thing, the easy thing to do is to pat yourself on the back and rest on your laurels. And we're certainly going to enjoy this win and this season for a good couple weeks. But when classes start in January, we're going to get back to doing everything and more that got us to this point.
Okay, right here.
All right, my voice is shot, so bear with me. Mark Berman from Fox Houston. This is for all of you. Start with you, Tom. What were your emotions when you were on the stage and the confetti was coming down, it was over, and you knew you had the win?
The emotions, again, I was just so proud of this senior class. It is the most important senior class in the history of this program. And I say that without hyperbole, without exaggeration. They changed our university. One singular class that decided way back in January to hand their coaching staff their hearts and say, coach us and lead us, and we'll take care of the rest in the locker room. We'll drag those young guys that are on the fence with us. And really that was the only thing going through my mind, was just the unbelievable gratitude and appreciation that I have for that senior class.
It really doesn't seem real. Coach always talked about confetti falling and being there with your brothers and just celebrating the win. I'm really numb to the fact that we won right now. I'm honestly still in game mode, and it's just shout out to these seniors, man. Those guys bought in and they led the young guys, man, and we just came out here and did it.
After the game, seeing the confetti fall, honestly, I thought about my high school baseball coach. My freshman year, I remember we went 5-7, and I tweeted. I said, before I graduate, I'm playing a BCS bowl game. And he tweeted back, and he said, you must be transferring. Like, I couldn't, playing a bowl game. Yeah, so last night I posted it and tagged him in it, so I know he was watching. He told me he was watching. But besides that, just, man, go all the way back to when Coach Herman, man, locked the locker room doors. We had to be on the field at 4:30 in the morning, hard work, blood, sweat, and tears with my brothers, sacrificing a lot. And just to see it all pay off, man, it's the best feeling ever.
Right here.
Adrian Beecher with theskyboat.com. Coach, can you just talk a little bit about your defense's performance in the first half? You held FSU to 1 for 4 on third down in the first quarter and 0 for 4 in the second quarter, and I held them to 6 yards of rushing on the ground in the first half.
Well, we held them to 16 total yards rushing in the entire game, so I think they did a pretty good job in the run game in the second half too. But to be great on third down, you got to be really good on first and second down, and I think the one thing that Coach Orlando and the entire defensive staff do is they're aggressive on first and second down, and we want to get offenses behind the chains so that we can force them into predictable third downs and then get really, really exotic and really fun with a lot of the things that we do. And so, it was a great game plan. It was tremendously executed by the players out there, and that's a physical outfit that's used to running the ball really, really well. And our guys rose to the occasion, and we certainly wouldn't be sitting here enjoying this win had they not.
Joseph
Duarte, Houston Chronicle. Trayvon, the 2 interceptions and the fumble recovery. When you guys generated those turnovers, did you sense? At that point, you had the lead, but just things swinging your way in a decisive manner that what y'all were doing defensively was going to be enough today to really just shut them down?
Really, man, no matter how many turnovers we get during the game, we just got to finish off the game like that. So, I got those 2, Willow got 2, and And really, we kept telling each other, man, keep fighting. The game ain't over yet. We was trying to get more, and we feel it's not enough. And Coach Orlando go keep bringing the pressure. Coach Nabar go keep trying to get turnovers, and that's just what we do. You know, we hungry players, and we just try to make it happen. Everybody try to make the play.
Coach, did you wear the grill?
I did in the locker room. You're not going to see it.
All right, Ken.
Coach Herman, can you comment a little bit more about the defense, particularly just what you guys did to slow down the running game so effectively?
I think it was pressure. Again, much like our offensive game plan, we knew we can't just sit there and base defense and go man for man, you know, and with these guys matchup wise. So we had to be creative. We had to be unconventional a little bit, and we had to confuse the offensive line and allow some penetration, allow some guys to get free, either to the quarterback or to the running back. And you know, I think that was kind of the crux of the game plan was not to just sit there and try to go matchup for matchup. Was we had to be very creative in the ways that we stopped the run game.
All right, Dan.
Coach, is it safe to say that this trip to Atlanta has been a little bit more enjoyable than, say, recruiting trips in 2014 in February?
No, yeah, it's well. The good thing is there's no ice on the road, so yeah, my memories of the great city of Atlanta certainly have done a complete 180. That's for sure.
Were you in the Snowmageddon?
I was in the heart of the Snowmageddon, my friend. 19 hours on 285 in my car.
We'll save that up for a follow-up press conference.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we going? Okay, back over here in the front, please.
Ryan Smith, Houston Chronicle. Tom, the Memphis game and this game, you know, Greg has carried you guys all year, but Kyle Postman was able to come in and give you guys key snaps, and seems pretty symbolic of this team all year, to where it's been the entire roster and the depth you've created. And how integral was he to kind of carrying you guys to the finish line today?
Well, one of our four pillars of success is what we call competitive focus, and that's you know, a lot of teams talk about, you know, the backups and you know, third stringers preparing, you know, as if your number could be called at any moment, but we truly live it. These guys have bought into that real professionals, real guys that go about their business every day with the you know, mindset to get better. You know, because when your number's called, all your teammates, there's going to be one of two reactions happen. It's going to be, oh my gosh, Kyle Postman's in the game. I've seen how awful he prepares. I've seen how he doesn't pay attention. I've seen how bad he is at practice. Or the reaction is going to be, hey, Postman's going in. We're good. We're good. You know, I've seen how he prepares, how well he prepares, how well he studies, and how well he practices. And so he is a bit symbolic. I think the offensive line is a bit symbolic too of just that that one pillar of success, competitive focus. That you know, when your number's called, you know, in this program, you better be ready, because there's a lot of guys that are counting on you to be.
This is for Greg and Trevon. Texas is certainly a large state, but from the Golden Triangle to the Panhandle, football is a small community. Talk about what it's like to have the best record in the state.
It means a lot, you know, having University of Texas and Texas A&M, those guys like that. I feel there's a lot of bragging rights, having a lot of friends on, you know, those teams, so there's a lot of bragging rights. But, I mean, it feels good, especially to come this far, not just to come to Atlanta to the Peach Bowl, but also win the game, man. It's a good feeling.
I think it's just great for the team, man. We don't really think about or worry about just other teams, man. It was just a great win for the family, and just all the brothers, we all bought in, man. And the 13-1 just goes to our family, man.
Can I add something to that?
Please.
I think I'd be remiss if I didn't, you know, mention or at least implore the recruits out there that and the high school football players that if you want to win championships and you want to win New Year's Six bowl games, that and win 13 games and kiss trophies and get really big rings and get a lot of nice things, better be coming with no strings. Right? That that you can certainly do it at one of the finest institutions in the country, and in my opinion, the greatest city in America.
All right, time for a couple more. We'll go right here.
Tom, talk about how you guys were able to respond any time that Florida State was about to take momentum. It seemed like you guys either converted on a third down, scored a touchdown. You just seemed to always respond.
Yeah, I don't. You know, you're so in the middle of it that you can't really see that. You know, while it's happening, but now that you mention it, you're right. I mean, I remember just, oh my gosh, you know, it's 3rd and 8, and you know, we complete a pass to Marcus Ayers, and we get the ball moving. I think we kicked a field goal on that one, or you know, they're driving a little bit. We got we got us on our heels a little bit on defense, and boom, we get a turnover. So you're very right that you know, that this team has kind of done that all year. You know, they've found ways to, when their backs are against the wall, to really rise, or really what we say, you know, it's I think a Navy SEAL term. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training, and the level of these guys' training is at a really, really high level, and so when your back's against the wall, you fall to the level of your training. Well, that level of training is really, really high, and these guys continue to go back to the way that they're trained and respond with great decisions and not panic and just have a knack for making a big play when it's needed.
All right, we're going to take 2 more. Gary?
Greg Gehring, McKillips AP Radio. Did you feel a lot of pressure knowing how explosive Florida State can be? Did you think you'd have to run up 30, 40 points to win this one?
I knew the defense, our defense would do a great job, man. We've been preparing very hard, so whenever you prepare like this, you have no fear. So preparation eliminates fear. So Coach Herman put us in the best situations, along with Coach Applewhite, and we just came out here and played hard.
All right, Joseph, you get the last one.
Tom, to go back to something earlier, I mean, when you got hired, I believe the words were, you know, Houston could be a sleeping giant. And then 12 months later, you told the crowd, Coug Nation has arrived. Can you kind of just...
It's back.
It's back.
We were here before.
Okay.
We went a little dormant. Yeah, you know, the sky is the limit. Again, we're in the greatest high school football playing city, and second only to, or with number 2 being right up the road in the Metroplex. And we've got a top 25 academic institution that, you know, we can afford student athletes an experience of a lifetime and a degree and training that will carry them well into the future. And so I think, you know, the validation of just kind of the way we go about our business has really been neat to feel, and you know, it's palpable in the city. It's palpable on our campus that you know, we have a new sense of pride in this great university and this great football program, and it's because of the players that have invested so much in it.
All right, that'll do it.
Thank you.
Guys.